Let's work on our do now. Let's read the selection below and answer the questions that follow. Paintball. Are you looking for a fun new activity? Consider paintball. It's exciting for everyone and you won't regret it. Paintball requires two teams. The game begins when the teams are at their separate bases. Both teams say they're ready, and one team yells, "Paintball pellets!" Yells game on. Then the game begins. Each team tries to shoot different colored paintball pellets at the opposing team while completing difficult obstacles. When the paintballs hit, a large splatter of paint is left on the person's clothing. When a player is hit, the player has to raise their gun over their head, shout that they're hit, and leave the field to the dead area. Once one team completes all of the objectives, the game is over. There isn't another game that sounds like quite so much excitement. It's fun, fast, and furious. Come on, give it a try. Now that we read the passage, let's take a look at this question. After reading paragraph 2, the reader can conclude that the game of paintball, A, involves a lot of deaths, B, enables people to feel better about themselves, C, allows players to run a timed obstacle course, or D, consists of many different rules. Let's take a look closer at this question. Some key words in this question are paragraph 2, conclude, and paintball. Paragraph 2 is important because it's going to tell us in which paragraph we should be looking for our answer. I also circled the word conclude and paintball because it's asking us to come up with a conclusion or to decide what we learned in paragraph 2. So let's read paragraph 2 to find our keywords. I found paragraph 2, so I circled it here. And I also found the word paintball a few different times and I underlined it. Now that we've found our keywords, which is a step 3, we can now move on to step 4, and it is to read around our keywords to try to answer the question. Let's read paragraph 2 one more time. Paintball requires two teams. The game begins when the teams are at their separate bases. Both teams say they're ready, and one team yells, "Game on." Then the game begins. Each team tries to shoot different colored paintball pellets at the opposing team while completing difficult obstacles. When the paintballs hit, a large splatter of paint is left on the person's clothing. When a player is hit, the player has to raise their gun over their head, shout that they're hit, and leave the field to the dead area. Once one team completes all of the objectives, the game is over. To me, it sounds like it was telling me how to play paintball. So now that it sounds like it plays how to play paintball because it's telling me that you need two teams. It tells me what happens when the game begins, how the game ends, what happens if the team gets hit. So it looks like it's telling you how the game is played. So let's take a closer look at the answer choices and see if that is one of our answers. A, involves a lot of deaths. We didn't learn that there's any deaths in paintball, so we can cross that one off. B, enables people to feel better about themselves. It doesn't tell us that one side is going to feel better than the other. Remember, we said it was teaching us how to play paintball. C, allowed players to run a timed obstacle course. Now, it didn't mention anything about there being a specific set of time when they play, so we can cross off C. And D, consists of many different rules. This sounds more like all the different ways you play the game. It was telling us the rules and how you play the game. So our answer choice here is D. After reading paragraph 2, the reader can conclude that the game of paintball has many different rules.